So the new coalition government is talking a lot about cuts on basically anything that isn't ring fenced.
Yeah.
They're looking at 40% cuts in the budget.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at here, this partnership between Cleveland Police and Steria, clearly involves a lot of cash savings to the service being delivered.
Yeah.
So is this really a model for public sector services in the future?
Well, we believe absolutely that it is, and we've been trying to push and persuade people that they should look at these kind of back office outsourcing models, because we've demonstrated for years that we could do this with the Department of Health. So the concept has been proven, and in fact it is actually fortunate timing. But you may be aware that as well as in that deal, as well as the savings that we've generated to the trust, we finally got that business to a point where we can replay cash back into the Department of Health.
Right.
So having proved it in the Department of Health, we've really been looking for the foundation deal in policing to show that we can do exactly the same thing, generate interest amongst other forces and get them to join the club and actually help them deliver their 40% cost savings.
And you are actually going in to meet Francis Maud this week, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So is the government particularly interested in more of these type of deals then?
I think they're interested in anything that we can do to help them achieve their cost savings. I think it may not be the line of reasoning that they expect in that meeting. I think they're looking for us to just reduce our costs of the contracts that we already deliver. And we think a far more root and branch analysis of how they deliver services, how they protect frontline services and look at bringing together their backline services, optimising them, improving their efficiency, and stop the need to make very, very harsh cuts to frontline services, both in the health service and in policing. So we think this is exactly the model they should be looking at, and that's what we're going to be discussing on Thursday, hopefully.
Okay. Do you think that the union's out of touch with the operations staff themselves? Because the unions in the BBC today complaining about this deal, and yet it seems that if you're a member of staff, it's giving you some security.
Well, we're surprised by some of the comment from the unions, because we believe there are a few people in the country, and there are particularly few public service workers at the present moment that could say they have a 10-year guarantee they will not be made redundant. So we think it's a very, very strong argument, in fact, for the unions, and coupled with the fact that our business model demands that we push more and more volume through this kind of deal, we will actually employ more and more people based around this centre. So, for the unions protecting employment and looking after people, we would have thought a good relationship with us and working with us to make sure this is a success would be high on their agenda.
Right.
We need to communicate and convince them of that, obviously.
So yeah, and so there's no redundancies. You're actually hiring.
Yeah. So we would have thought would be an extremely attractive organisation for the union to work with, and that's what we're going to try and persuade them over the next few weeks.
Okay. And just finally then, we focused a lot on the savings, particularly the savings the government would be interested in.
Yeah.
But what are the additional benefits? I mean, if we took away just the cash element to this deal, what else is the police authority getting?
So I think it's very easy when we do these deals to, as you say, focus on cost saving. For us, it's more about transformation and efficiency improvement. The cost savings are a byproduct of that, but what we should really deliver for the citizens of Cleveland, they should experience a much better experience when they make calls. So the fact that we're going to man the control room, it will be managed by police officers, uniformed police officers, but our staff will actually be handling calls. We're going to put more CRM platforms into the call centre. So hopefully over time, as we build up the knowledge of the call patterns, if you are having a repeated call over and over again for the same nuisance, we should be able to at least relate to that, note that you've had that call before, escalate through the police force. And hopefully, and this is where I'm really hopeful that people will feel like the police force care even more about them, is we can follow up on those calls and make sure after the incident's been closed that the citizen was actually happy about the response they got, both in terms of the call handling when we were involved in it and ultimately the call handling from the police when they handled the incident. And if they don't, we have ways of improving the processes, we have the data available, and we can hopefully enhance the service again. So very, 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 very confident that we can deliver those kind of quality of service improvements as well as generating cash release for the police force.